Hello Year 2. In today's lesson we're going to create a page that looks like this. This is where we test out colour mixing to make the colours that we will need for our sunflower painting next week. Now if you look at these paintings, as we said before, some of the colours are light and some of the colours are dark. Remember, light and dark colours are called the tones. So we can see different tones of brown, different tones of yellow, different tones of green, and the green here as well. So today, what we're going to do is try out mixing brown, orange, yellow, and green. Okay, now just remember, we can't mix yellow, but we can make shades of orange that we will need for our sunflower pictures. Okay, so let's get started. Now, today, you will need a double page open on your sketchbook like that. You will also need the primary colours, red, blue and yellow, and also black and white. Okay, so I'm going to start off by looking at one page. And on this page, we're going to have a go at mixing browns. Now, as we said before, there are many different tones of brown, and we want to try and match up the tones of brown we create. Now, I know that red, so R for red, plus black makes brown. So that's what I'm going to do first. So I'm going to take quite a fine brush, and the first thing I'm going to mix the paints onto my page. So first of all, I'm going to take load up my brush with a big amount of red because we don't want the colour to run out. And I'm just going to put it on my page. Now, it's very important when we're colour mixing that we wash our brush between colours. So we stroke it on the bottom, stroke it on the side, wipe with the tissue, check there's no colour. Now I'm going to add my black. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of black, and I'm going to mix the two colours together. And what I'm going to do is next to this, I'm going to just draw a line to show the first tone of brown that I can make. You can see this is quite a reddy brown, okay? Now, I'm going to add a little more black. Now, I'm not going to wash my brush this time because I'm going to keep adding black, so it would take too long. I'm just going to lightly touch it in the corner so I don't mix up my black paint too much. And I'm going to add a little bit more black and see what happens. Can you see the black is getting a darker colour? Sorry, the brown is getting darker. Add a little bit more black. What happens this time? I'm going to do, yeah, even darker brown. Add more black. And we have an even darker brown. Okay, now I'm going to add a tiny bit of white. Now I'm only going to do this once, so I'm going to clean my brush. So clean it on the bottom, stroke it on the side, wipe, check. And I'm going to add just a tiny bit of white and see what happens now. Does it still make a brown colour? Let's have a look. Yes, and so already I've created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different tones of brown just by mixing red and black. Okay, I'm going to wash my brush now because we're going to move on. Stroke it on the bottom, stroke it on the side, wipe and check. Okay, now I know also that red and blue make black. So I'm going to write red and blue. And I know that red and blue, we've talked about, red and blue make purple. But if I use just a little bit of the colours, it can make brown. So I'm just using a little bit of red, washing my brush, checking, and then I'm going to use a little bit of blue. Now I know red and blue make purple, so this isn't going to be the right colour. Yeah, that's still a bluey colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit more red. And can you see now it's more of a purple colour? And now I'm going to slowly add just a little bit of blue, sorry. Just a tiny bit. And see if I can make more of a brown colour. Okay, now it's still quite purpley. I'm not happy with those browns. I think they're more purpley. So what I'm going to do is to my red and my blue, I'm going to add a tiny bit of yellow. And let me see if this makes brown this time. Yes, I've made brown. I'm going to add a little more yellow. I'm not washing my brush because I'm going to keep adding just a little bit of the colour. Yes, now I'm getting the brown. A little more yellow. And you can see I'm not mixing the colours too much in the palette. Lovely. So these browns I'm happy with, and I will be able to use in my sunflower picture next week. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different browns, 8 tones of brown that I can use in my painting next week. Very happy. Okay, in our sunflower painting, we can also see yellows, oranges and reddy colours, and we need to know how to mix those colours too. So I'm going to move on to the next page. Okay, and I'm going to start to mix those colours, so yellows and oranges. Okay, so let me put my colours here. My brush is nice and clean. No, it isn't. I need to wash my brush. So stroke it on the bottom, wipe, and check there's no colour on the brush. Okay, so I'm just going to start off by writing yellow, because the first colour I'm going to make is just going to be normal yellow. I'm not going to mix it. Okay, so here I go. I'm just putting on my yellow. Happy with that? Wash my brush, and now I'm going to start to mix an orangey colour. So we know that yellow and yellow and red make orange. So here I go, here's my yellow. Whoops. Let me add just a little bit more. Look what happens when you rush. You need to always stroke it on the side, year 2. Okay, wash my brush, stroke it on the side, wipe, and I'm going to add just a little bit of red and see what's the first orangey colour I can make. Yeah, I've made orange straight away. What happens if I add just a little bit more red, sorry. It's going to get even redder, isn't it? So it's a darker reddy orange. What happens if I add a little bit more yellow? And more yellow. And now I'm going to add just a little touch of red. And you can keep adding more yellow, adding more red. And already, again, I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tones of orange. The next thing I'm going to do, year 2, sorry, is I'm going to add just a touch of white. And let's see what happens to the orangey colour now. It changes to a peachy colour, okay. So when I paint my sunflower, I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different orangey, yellowy colours that I can use. The last colour you might want to mix is green for the stem of the sunflower. Now, I'm not sure how much of the green we're going to mix, but it's good to try it out. You can see some parts of it are dark green. The stem is a light green. So, we know that yellow and blue make green. So, I'm going to start with quite a lot of yellow. Need more yellow than that. Quite a lot of yellow. And then I'm going to wash my brush. Let me get myself a new tissue. Stroke it on the side. Wipe, check, and I'm going to add a touch of blue. And I've made a very bluey green colour here. There we are. I'm going to try adding a little bit more yellow now. There I go, just a touch of yellow, and see if I can gradually change the tone of green. Yep, it's already getting lighter. Touch more yellow. I'm not washing my brush because I'm going to keep going in the yellow. There we are, and one more touch of yellow. There we go. And the last thing I'm going to try is adding just a touch of white. So wash my brush, stroke it on the side, tissue, and a touch of white. And let's see what the green is like now. It's a very light green. Okay? So, year 2, this is our job for today. Today, it's all about colour mixing and making different tones ready for our lesson next week when we're actually going to be painting sunflowers. By the end of this lesson, you will have a range of colours to use when you paint your sunflower next week. Good luck, year 2. Bye for now.